a minute till, but I mean that's good enough.
Marcus. It's my old house.
Oh yeah!
Oh wow!
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're live.
We're still keep talking. We're still not completely live yet.
Yeah, we are live, Ron. Checkmate King 2. This is White Rook over. There's our sound check, and I think we're good.
You hear the second screen going on over here now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There we go. We got it muted now.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready, DeMarco?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, and welcome into DroneNation for August 4th, 2025. Can you believe it's August already? This is called the DJI Mini 5 Pro Update Show. And, of course, your regular co-hosts are here. And Eddie Nunez will be joining us here in a few minutes or whatever. Kind of give us the latest updates on what's been going on with him.
Nunez Nation?
Or Cybertruck Nation.
Cybertruck. You know, I saw a brand new Tesla dealership in Meridian today. Brand new.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, never seen it before.
Stop in?
I flew my drone over it, got some pictures.
Well, that counts. That counts for something.
Yeah.
No. You got to buy something, Marcus. You got to buy something.
I see Dr. B is in the chat. Dr. B, I went over by Shields and I flew over all that area. Guys, I found, I was just in Marcus heaven. I found a cell phone tower over by Shields that they disguised to look like a tree.
Oh,
wow.
So what I do, of course, I went over there and did an orbit around it, right? Isn't that what you do?
You spied on their secret.
Yeah.
By the water tower.
Yeah.
By the water tower.
Yeah. Cool. Hey, listen, a little bit of
by the water tower.
Yeah, the water tower looks like an onion. I guess I should orbit that sometime.
Hey, excuse me. Before I get this around here, I'll never say it again. Bob Dempsey sent a text here. He said they have an announcement. I'm sure it's posted on all the groups or whatever. The website for the registration for the Vegas drone meetup, November 7th, 8th, and 9th, is now live. So you can go over right now and register. I said, if the link's not already in DroneNation from Bob putting up, I'll put it up later. But just this little breaking news here. Bob sent it to me. And while we were doing breaking news, star of the show is back there in the green room, I think, finishing up the leftover shrimp. So
maybe some finger steaks too.
Could be.
Yeah.
And the good news is my internet issues from last week are gone.
You're looking good, Ron.
A lot of phone conversations that even sent a new modem/router out, but I haven't even installed it yet. And it just cleared up over the weekend on its own. So, and with no further ado, we're going to bring in the, our guest star tonight, guest star, from all the way from the Big Apple, from New York City, Mr. Eddie Nunez. How you doing, Eddie?
Good word.
Eddie.
Oh, little audio issues, Eddie.
Huh? Eddie?
On mute,
Eddie?
probably.
Eddie, give us a sound check, Eddie. Nothing yet.
Eddie,
No
you're
blast.
muted.
No bueno.
He's muted.
Yeah.
Unless he's under NDA and he can't say anything.
Nothing yet, Eddie. Nothing.
Dang.
I think he's just under NDA. He has all the new devices we're going to talk about, and he can't say anything.
Elon knew he was going to give us the down low on that Cybertruck, so he cut off his sound.
Oh, he has a Cybertruck too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a little Cybertruck Nation if he ever gets.
Eddie's all Tesla all the time. He's got a not a 3 Model S or whatever.
The minivan in.
Yeah. Eddie, unplug and replug back in again. That almost always fixes the mic issues.
Reboot is what IT always says. Reboot.
Well, before you go that far, just unplug the mic if it's a USB mic.
Yeah.
Poor Eddie. How about if I? Oh yeah, he removed himself. How about if I remove him? He comes back in.
Yeah.
So sorry, folks, we're having a little technical difficulties here, but
difficulties.
We're going to give Eddie a minute or two, Marcus. If you can't get the sound going, we're going to start talking about the breaking news from this weekend. This is from as discovered by John Cuppi on Reddit. Mini 5 Pro product image and key features leaked.
So, Ron, you know what that's called? We got the Coop Scoop.
Yes. And I asked John to join us tonight, but unfortunately, he had another engagement. He's probably secretly meeting with DJI or something like that or whatever.
It could be. DJI probably called him out for that. And they said, listen, Coop, if you're going to give away our secrets, why don't you just try one out here and do a little road test for us?
But even Steven Sutton on his Mini 5 video, he gave John the credit for breaking the news off of Reddit.
As he should.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, DeMarco's dealing with the kids, and so that's why DeMarco's not here.
Let's just get into it, and then we'll recap if Eddie joins. Okay, so again, we talked a little bit. So what happened is it was on Reddit, and it was all over Twitter this weekend. DroneX saw the story on it, and I think I'm reading mostly from our friend Jasper Ellen's story in DroneXL. The seven DJI Mini 5 Pro features confirmed, Marcus. This is from the side box. Let me get. I'm gonna read them off and get the box. Oh, here we go. I think Eddie's back.
Testing 1, 2.
Eddie.
There we go.
Whoa!
Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah, you got it.
What's
So
up?
welcome in, Eddie.
Listen, I had nothing but issues trying to join the stream today. I don't know why.
Wow.
Marcus' fault.
My fault. What?
Marcus is our IT guy.
That'd be a mistake.
well, we're glad to have you. You know, despite all the technical issues, welcome back, Eddie. It's been too long since you've been in the show. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. How you been?
I've been great. Just been so busy with work and life, but overall great.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
How are you guys?
I'm doing excellent. DeMarco?
Good. Happy to be home.
Awesome.
Marcus?
Not worth a damn.
Oh, okay.
All you guys said excellent, so I had to come up with something different.
Yeah. So, but I tell you, Eddie, we're doing real good now because we have a hot story here. And this story was kind of uncovered by John Cuppi on Reddit over the weekend. He discovered leaked pictures of the box and the specs of the Mini 5 Pro. And we're going to jump, we kind of talked about it a little bit. We're going to jump into the 7 key features confirmed from the box. A 1-inch image sensor up to 4K, 120 frames per second video. Okay, true vertical shooting with 225-degree gimbal rotation for more flexible camera movements. High quality 48mm Med-Tele mode. Wow. I don't know what that's all about. Nightscape omnidirectional obstacle avoidance sensing with forward-facing LiDAR. So we kind of knew about the LiDAR for a couple of months now from early leaked images. ActiveTrack for running, cycling, and more. And I'm sure Marcus will test all that tracking out when he gets a drone. And Eddie on those electric bikes of yours. And 36
if we can get the drone, Ron, is what you're saying.
Well, we're getting the good news first. 36-minute flight time, okay. And what Marcus alluded to, we have no confirmation whether this drone will be available for sale in the U.S. on regular channels. So I'm going to get a little graphic up on the screen, but I'll go to anybody. Anybody have any thoughts on what we just talked about, Eddie?
I would say a Mini is my most favorite drone to fly. Out of every drone that I have in my fleet, the Mini is the one that gets the most flight time because it's stealthy. The battery life on it is fantastic, and the image quality that you get out of it, I'm pretty sure it's you can't really tell the difference whether it's a Mavic 3 Pro, especially for social media, right? Mavic 3 Pro or a Mini 4 Pro. I'm very excited about a Mini 5 Pro and all the features you just listed.
So there's about the best picture we've ever seen of it so far.
Good job.
We've always seen it before with wraps and stuff like that and whatever, but that's probably the best photo we've seen of it. So, yeah. So the 1-inch sensor intrigues you on this drone, Eddie?
Absolutely. I think a 1-inch sensor and the ability to do horizontal and portrait videos or photos is fantastic. Because the great thing about having that camera flipping over is that you get to use the whole sensor, right? Versus, you know, just cropping in the way you want. So that's the beauty about this drone. And the size, the portability, like everything else that comes with it. Sub 250, hopefully, right? I'm not sure if this, I'm pretty sure they'll do sub 250 on this. And with regulation, the way they're going, like in New York City, it's getting really difficult to fly. So when I go to a location that's pretty much all of New York City, that's questionable, like the Mini's hands down is the drone that I'm bringing with me.
When you want now, Eddie, I know you know a lot of people just assume it's going to be 250, and I'm not under 250. I'm not saying it's not, but how about the fact that they on the box they didn't say under 250? They just said ultralight and foldable. They avoided saying under 250. Do you think that's just the advertising department, or that it could be heavier than 250?
Heavier.
With those specs, it could be heavier, but I think that the Mini, I almost feel like DJI has to make it under 250. Like the Mini 4s are known for that. If they don't, then what's the sub 250 gram? They will have to make another Mini, maybe like a Mini 5 SE that's going to be sub 250. But it's a must, non-negotiable. Minis have to be sub 250.
Of course, they do. They do have the Neo and the Flip in the lineup that are under 250 already. But here's like the kind of the box here that why it's so blurry is they were explaining the article that they had like two different things with a printer at the same time, you know, and that's why it came out a little bit blurry. But that's like the side of the box kind of photocopied. Marcus, your impressions of these 7 leaked features?
Well, it's everything that we'd heard rumor wise, so that's a good thing. And I'm with Eddie. It will be sub 250. If it's not, it's another air drone, right? It's not a Mini then. So kind of what's the point? Although obviously, as we know in the United States, it doesn't make any difference to us with Part 107. We don't care if it's sub 250 or not. But a lot of people that fly recreationally, that is important. And I'm certain that there will be a version of it that's like that. But these features look really good. And yeah, I'm with Eddie. What I like about flying a mini drone, I took when I went to Hawaii last year, I took my Mini 4 with me, and I just flew that thing every day. And just like Eddie said, I'm in the middle of the city. Nobody even knows you have it, right? You throw it in the air, and it's very discreet. It's quiet, and you still get fantastic, high quality video. I'm going to Spain here in about a month, and whether if I've got a Mini 5, I'll take it with me. If not, for sure, the Mini 4 is what's going to go with me to Spain. So,
I've been trying to take advantage. You know, Eddie and I kind of live in the same region.
Got my European license too.
Oh, you passed.
Awesome.
Yeah. The wind's not really blowing as hard as it is the rest of the year, so I'm taking advantage of this time of year to fly all my small drones. Mini 4 Pro, Neo, Avata 2 is not a small drone, but it gets blown around the wind. So I'm taking advantage of this weather that we're having now to fly all my drones that aren't necessarily good in the wind.
Let me tell you, Ron, I flew my Mini 4K in Hawaii in gale force winds.
Yes, yes.
And it did okay. I don't know.
I'm not saying the Mini 4 is not capable, but it doesn't move around as well as something like the Air 3S.
I agree.
Yeah. In those winds.
The Air 3S is going to cut through better. Yeah.
The scariest thing with a mini drone is looking through the cameras, like the sensor cameras, and seeing.
Yeah,
and you just see the whole, like, you know, arm just bouncing all over the place. It looks like it's gonna die in the air, but then you look at the gimbal and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's when you know how good those gimbals are working. DeMarco, your impressions of these leaked specs for the Mini 5 Pro?
I mean, it's definitely a slight upgrade from my Mini 3 Pro. I'd have to buy it if it comes out. One question I had, Eddie, you had said this. So I have the Mini 3 Pro. The Mini 4 came out though, and like I wasn't planning on buying it though, so I totally forgot specs on it. That's sub 250, right? With the standard battery, right?
Standard battery only.
With the standard battery, yes. The extended battery is going to take you over.
Yeah.
For both the 3 and
the 3 too. Okay.
Right. I think the same battery is cross compatible.
Yeah. With my 3, I think I've only flown the standard battery a handful of times. I mean, I never really grab it.
But Marcus, let's bring up the thing. You know, the con. If you put the heavier battery in, now you're not broadcasting remote ID, and now the drone has to be registered. You are broadcasting remote ID, but and you have to be registered at this point.
Exactly right. But obviously, Eddie, yourself, Ron, and me, you know, DeMarco, one of these days he'll take the test. But
one day.
I love you, DeMarco. But we have to broadcast remote ID anyway, so we might as well put the heavier battery in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I even use the Mini 4 Pro for some commercial work, some real estate photography sometimes. So of course I'm flying, heavy battery, remote ID, registered, insured, everything, Part 107 flight. So
I love the Mini with the extended battery for hyperlapses, because I typically like to do 750 shot hyperlapses at a 3-second interval. And I'm doing long exposure shots to get the motion blur, especially during the day. And you just get some really epic hyperlapses with the Mini. Yeah,
that's true. It makes it, because you have about the same battery life as you do like a Mavic 3 or a Air 3 series drone when you have that battery in.
Longer with the extended battery, you get more flight time on a hyperlapse. A Mavic 3 Pro, I'm able to get about 400 shots before I get the battery warning, like return to home. With the extended battery, I can go up to 750, sometimes 800, depending on wind.
Wow.
Yeah, you can get some long hyperlapses with the Mini.
Another advantage of the bigger battery is that I have no way of testing or proving this, but it seems like the drone flies better, stronger, faster. It's better in the wind. I guess the little extra weight, but it just seems kind of like it turbocharges the drone when you're flying when you have that heavier battery in it.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I got no way of proving that, but it just seems like it performs better.
Hey, Ron, Bill Grace has a comment about that. He's saying, hey, Marcus should buy a Mini 5 when he's in Spain. Okay, I've thought of that too. But what I wonder is, well, there's a couple of concerns there, but one of them is, would it be in CE mode then instead of FCC mode, or does it automatically switch if it knows where you're at geographically? I wonder.
Last week we talked about this, and someone said they're right or not. I don't know.
I've never heard anybody say definitively that that's the case.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that in YouTube, but not with any proof or anything to back it up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And the other thing is, in theory, you'd have to declare it as you came back, and so I guess, they might take it away from you, I guess, would be what I'd be worried about.
Sam Lepore has a question in the chat there, Eddie. Does Billy Kyle have a Mini 4 Pro?
Billy Kyle's probably flying the Mini 5 Pro, and if anybody knows, it's Sam Lepore, because he sees him every single day for those shoots. So Sam Lepore, spill the beans, Sammy.
Sammy, you're under NDA now. You better not get Billy in trouble. So and again, we don't. One thing we don't know about the Mini 5 Pro's availability in the U.S. and the rumored date was 8/7, and it doesn't cover in that article I have up, but a lot of people have backed off that 8/7 date now. That is going to come later than that. So later in other countries.
Ron, you're forgetting something. Tell them what iPhondo said.
Yeah, he this let me save that for the 360. He said that relationship.
I picked up on that too. I know exactly where Marcus is going.
Okay.
Yeah. But he said that relationship to the 360 camera, not the Mini 5.
But it applies. It's DJI.
Right. Well, iPhondo in his DJI Insta360 video, when he was talking about the availability of that in the US, that he said that it would be available in September. So,
and coincidentally, we're hearing about the Mini 5 getting delayed until September.
Yeah, what's going to happen in September? Yeah. So, so hang on there. yeah, because well, I don't want to talk more about 360 until we get to that. So, any final thoughts on the Mini 5 before we move on? I mean, this is the most confirmed stuff we've seen from yet. So this is the big thing. Last week, all we heard was a lot of loose rumors here and there, but this is the first time we've ever seen stuff in the box, the stuff consolidated, printed out. So we're a lot more closer to knowing everything here. And before we go on, I think the most interesting thing to me was that it says it has a Med-Tele lens now. It doesn't obviously have two lenses, so they must be doing this Med-Tele through some kind of a like a digital zoom type feature. That is intriguing. Marcus,
magic, hocus pocus.
So of course, our minis now they can zoom, right? Crop in the sensor zoom, but I mean they wouldn't make a big deal about that in the advertising unless this is something beyond just the standard cropping in on the sensor. Is that something you would be interested in? If they could get some kind of almost like a lossless type zoom on this thing?
I think you could probably just achieve the same thing in post. I mean, you might get better results in post. Like I don't know, we would have to kind of see how, like, what technology or what technique they're using to accomplish that. But with one lens, it's just a digital crop.
Now if it was like the Mavic 2 zoom, that was a true mechanical zoom.
Oh yeah, you're right there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow, if they put a mechanical zoom on this thing or whatever, I mean that would blow us away. But before we even get into what that would cost, Marcus or Eddie, DeMarco, you guys have a ballpark what you think this new Mini 5 Pro is going to cost? I mean, without all the tariffs and whatever and all that stuff.
Yeah, with DJI seems to hold the line pretty good on their prices. So I wouldn't expect it to be much more expensive than what we see with the current Mini 4 Pro. However, with tariffs and all that other stuff, I wouldn't even hazard a guess.
Yeah. A little bit more probably.
I agree with Marcus there. Like without tariffs, like putting tariffs aside, it's probably like give or take $100 over the Mini 4 Pro. Like they're really good at that pricing alignment.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, we're going to move on to our second story here. The DJI Osmo 360 camera was released last week, 7/31, July 31st, everywhere but the U.S. It did appear on DJI's U.S. website store, but was listed as out of stock in all configurations. And that was different from the Mavic 4 Pro, which wasn't anywhere on the website at all. To this day, it's not anywhere on the website at all. Like they weren't even acknowledging the U.S. With this, they're acknowledging the product in the U.S. by putting it on the website, but just putting it out of stock. So that kind of goes to what Marcus was saying a few minutes ago, that maybe there is plans for this to come out sometime, and they want that place marker, on the website. So I think this is encouraging news.
I'm going with the Earth, Wind, and Fire version. And Ron, you should know my reference here. Do you remember the 21st day of September? Yeah.
Oh, that's your date. Okay. Yeah.
Ron should know that one.
I know. I know all the Earth, Wind, Fire songs in the 70s by heart. Yeah. So a little bit more on this. So none of the American YouTube channels seem to have this except for iPhone, though. But the reviews were mixed. Many people were very unhappy that it did not have the user replaceable lenses, which was a feature which Insta360 introduced last spring with the X5. And there were many side-by-side image quality tests. And to my eye, it was very close. I mean, I would say DJI by a nose on these tests. Eddie, did you get the chance to look at some of these, the outside of the U.S. reviews of the Osmo 360?
I did, yeah. I watched quite a few, including iPhone, though, yeah. I thought that, I thought they did a good job for their first 360 camera. The first thing I noticed was the no swappable lens. But, I that's definitely needed on a 360 camera because that can just ruin your output. And what they did, DJI did something clever, right? Where you can get a service plan to repair your lens. And did you see what they did? They made the service plan. It's separate from Care Refresh, right? This is a separate plan from Care Refresh that will replace your cracked or damaged lens, but they made it cheaper than the swappable lens from Insta360. I don't know if you picked up on that.
Yeah, I not at first, but I did. But of course, the people that were hating on that for that, they said, "What if you're out in a hike someplace, you're on a vacation, whatever, and you scratch your lens or whatever? I mean, then your whole trip's ruined because you have to wait until you get home to send it in."
Yeah.
So they got beat up big time by not having that swappable lens. And to DJI's defense on that, Insta360 did not have that until just a few months ago in the spring. This is something they've been doing for years. They just introduced it.
Hey, let me ask both of you guys, Eddie and Ron, because I have no experience with 360 cameras. Eddie, have you ever scratched a lens on one? I mean, has it ever happened?
I have. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I have. And you got to send it into Insta360 for repair.
Wow.
Right. And the previous, right? Because now I have the X5 now, you can just swap out those lenses. But in the past, like I still have an X3 and I have an X2. And I always, after I damaged my first one, I always had it with the lens guards, like the lens protectors. And then if you do damage, right, you damage a lens protector and then you just buy another one. The problem with the lens protector is that they create a lot of glare because of the double glass or plastic, it's like acrylic. So you just get glare. But it's worth it in terms of the cost and the time to ship it back to Insta360 because it was upwards of $100 to repair one of those lenses.
Oh,
right. On a camera those older ones, the cameras that were only maybe $300-$400, you were spending $100 to replace the lens. So yeah, it was kind of a bitter pill to swallow. Marcus, I'll answer your question. I typically don't use the Insta360 as an action camera. I mean, I just use it because I don't do any action. I don't like ride motorcycles or jet skis or anything like that. So I just walk around with it like this, holding it. So I have it because, again, I don't use an action camera, and I keep this little, rubber cap on it. So when I put it in a pocket or a bag, so I have not. I've owned it. I've owned two. I've owned three of these. This is my third Insta360, and I haven't scratched one yet.
So Ron, you ask Eddie. It's just a matter of time. Some e-bike company is going to get a hold of you and want you to review one of their e-bikes, and then it's just a matter of time because they hit everybody.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I have to turn them down because remember my balance issues. I can't ride a two-wheeler. Since my ear surgery, I don't have the balance.
What you do
is we'd have to send a tricycle version.
You just have one of your nieces ride it. One of your nieces could ride it for you.
Yeah, they're all grown up now. They're not into helping Uncle Ron with videos
Okay.
So, but so I haven't. But anyhow, they got beat up real bad on it. But what did you think of the image quality comparisons?
So. I guess it depends on which review you saw, right? Because it was kind of all over the place. But iPhone, I think, did the more technical test, right? Where he had like a
chart in the wall,
a controlled environment. And I thought that the X5 looked sharper, in my opinion, in those examples.
Yeah, it did slightly.
Yeah.
I thought a lot. I thought most of the videos I watched, it seemed like the reviewer was either trying to favor one camera or the other. It seemed like a lot of people had the agenda they wanted the X5 to look better, and other people had the agenda they wanted the Osmo 360 to look better.
Yeah, iPhone has history with 360, right? Because he was pissed off, right? So he really wanted to make sure that he kind of like threw them under the bus in a sense. But I think at the end of the day, I think they both each have pros and cons. I think DJI did some really cool things. The magnetic quick release system that works from your Osmo, the battery that also works from Osmo, 10-bit in D-Log M, which the X5 is still 8-bit and doesn't really have a lot.
We've been asking for that for years, Eddie. From
the compatibility of your microphone, right? So I think if you are in the DJI ecosystem and you don't have a 360 camera, I relate this to like Apple products, right? it would behoove you to stick with DJI because it's just going to make your experience seamless because all your stuff is integrated.
Yeah. Agreed. If you don't have an Insta360, this is your first Insta360 camera, and you're not really tied to anybody's ecosystem, what would you get, Eddie?
Well, I can't get the DJI.
Yeah.
That's a moot point, isn't it? Yeah.
Eddie, let's say you lived in the Dominican Republic full time. Assume you're full time in the Dominican Republic.
I would lean towards the X5 only because of the swappable lenses, only because of that, and not to kind of throw a curveball. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer with GoPro, right? GoPro's going to release their, I forget what they're called, but their 360,
the Max 2.
The Max 2. Did you see their trailer? The guy cracks the lens, just swaps it. I mean, I'm interested. I'm looking forward to seeing, I think it's a good thing that we don't have this available in the US because it would allow us to see what GoPro's going to release, and then you could make a determination, right? Like, can you go out your way to get a Osmo 360 if you really want one, or stick with give GoPro a try, or just stick with the the main creator of these 360 cameras, which is Insta360. One thing I did notice is how kind of everyone is copying off of another. Like if you saw the studio app for the DJI, it looks very similar to the Insta360. Almost like how Insta360 is now, taking a direct bite out of DJI drones. So it's all commingled in a sense. It's all essentially probably the same thing, just different branding, different company, and then slight nuances.
And a couple of reviewers said that the software, and I think they meant mostly the desktop. I'm not sure about the phone app, but that the Insta360 software is more full featured than with DJI, which makes sense because it's new. I'm sure DJI software get better.
Yeah, because on Insta360 you can actually edit a whole video from your phone without even importing the clips. You can leave the clips in your camera. You can do a video. You can add transitions. You can add text effects. It has a real studio app, whereas the DJI looks like is more about just reframing and getting your clips out. So that was one bummer. I didn't really like how the software looked, and not all the reviewers really took a deep dive in the software. I noticed. And
I'm gonna, Marcus, explain it to you and help the audience. What he's talking about here is say with the DJI studio app for the computer, you have to bring that 360, that proprietary 360 into that app or whatever, and then kind of convert it over to regular video, and then you have to send that out to whatever Final Cut the other editors to do on their own. But what Eddie's saying with the Insta360 one, you don't have to jump that all around. You can just bring it in and do it all in their app. You don't have to just use it as a kind of a segue to get the video over to another editor, which it's a big deal for me. That other process, I never did that.
Okay, question. So, Eddie, I know often on your videos when you're reviewing, say, an e-bike or a scooter or something, you're doing some picture-in-picture stuff. Can you do that with the Insta360 app, or are you importing that into Final Cut Pro? Or
no, that's the picture is through Final Cut Pro.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And some of you remarked that the DJI one, the desktop app, kind of looked like a watered down Final Cut.
It kind of does, yeah.
So, but I think to that point, Ron, if all you were making was just a 360 video, I can see where that would be important. However, I know for a fact, I know what Eddie does. His 360 camera, he doesn't just make a 360 video. Right. He's using it in video with other things as well. So you'd still have to go into Final Cut.
And that's why the DJI app would slow him down, because it would be hard to make that type of video with it.
Well, certainly wouldn't Insta360 as well, because you're having to frame that shot first, right?
Yeah, you have to reframe all your 360 shots. Unless you're using one of the single lens mode, right? Which is essentially then just an action camera.
And it's an action camera, yeah. So what's the point?
Yeah. Because I think the thing we gotta get across to that is you can't the 360 file that comes off whatever the camera is, you can't just take that file right in the Final Cut.
So
Correct.
That file has to get
has
kind
to
of
get
like
processed.
processed in the company's app.
One of the places that I have appreciated what a 360 camera can do is if you watch a lot of these motorsports videos of kids on their, I say kids, I'm an old man, right? On their sport bikes. But all they're doing, they just have one camera up. And if there's somebody next to them that's giving them a hard time or whatever, they can just reframe that however they see fit to make the video, which has got to be a huge advantage. You don't have 4 cameras on your bike, right? You just got one camera you're hanging up there.
Well, I'll give you an example. Marcus and I were at the House of Refuge at the South Florida Drone Meetup. I won't go into the whole with the House of Refuges, but we were kind of on after we got done flying, we were walking around these rocks on the beach or whatever, and I had the X4 walking around. Marcus probably just thought I looked like a dummy walking around holding things.
I did.
Remember I sent you the cool process video of it though.
Yeah, it was cool.
Where we were spinning around in these great angles or whatever, and with me just walking around aimlessly with the thing. I took probably 5 minutes of me walking around there and turned it into like a minute or less clip. But I couldn't do that with anything else. So
the one area where I thought DJI was going with this, and I was kind of upset that I didn't see that, is I thought they were gonna come up with a creative way to create quick shots to avoid all of this. So track a car, track a boat, right? If you're on a boat, track yourself, right? ActiveTrack yourself, like the Osmo Pocket, even the Osmo Action. But you still have to go to the software, create like a droney effect, right? Like, sure, give somebody instructions on the app or on the camera saying, position your selfie stick this way, move it left, and then let it all do it within the body. I thought that's where DJI was going to go, and it was going to, then certainly catch the attention to many that don't own a 360 camera because of the whole post-processing. But, they didn't. They have these AI tools that help ActiveTrack afterwards in post, but you have to literally sit there and let it go frame by frame. That's time consuming. And I've heard from those reviewers, like the ActiveTrack is not as good as the Insta360.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense since it's the new software.
That makes a ton of sense.
And he brings the point up. 360 cameras are great. I mean, they innovate, they do all this great stuff until you sit down in front of whatever you're going to add it on. Then it's not so much fun anymore. So it's a lot more work.
Once you get a hang of it and you understand the app, like I can breeze through it. The problem is with 360 camera, it's like when we first got drones. You're literally recording everything, and you just can't sit there and try to export and keyframe everything. You just got to find like those key moments and focus on that and make it unique. But if you try to sit there and keyframe and export the entire, like e-bike ride, whatever it was, then that's when it's tedious and you're not going to want to do it.
Yeah, good point.
Makes a lot of sense.
Okay, well, Eddie brought it up already. The next story is number 3. Well, actually, I want to finish this story. Look, I've got the little DJI promo up here now. Don't blink or anything.
I missed
That's
it.
amazing. That's amazing.
I turned the sound down, but let's see here. Let me come back to get our next story primed up here. Eddie mentioned it a little bit earlier. See if I can get the right thing up here. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here is what Eddie alluded to earlier. Here, this is the GoPro Max 2 with also a rumored release date of the 2nd. I mean, not the 2nd, September. So we don't really know much specs on it, except like Eddie pointed out, or Marcus, one of you guys pointed out, it seems to have removable lenses like the X5 do, which is almost after the reviewers got done with the Osmo 360, it almost required, or you're going to get killed in the reviews. So this has been many years since the Max 1 came out. I'm going to say the Max 1 is probably as old as the X3, maybe the X2. It's old.
It has to be old, yeah.
Yeah. So you know, and this has been a rumor. They've been putting out a 360 camera for the last couple of releases. And the interesting thing is there's no rumors of the Hero, I think it would be the Hero 14. All the rumors point to this thing instead of a Hero 14. And one thing I saw, two of the reviewers did with the Insta360, Insta360, the DJI Osmo 360, they did a head-to-head comparison, single lens mode, to the Action 5 Pro. And you know, the Action 5 Pro looked a little better, but not a whole lot better. So I could see GoPro, well, why even have two different cameras? You just make this camera as good in single lens mode as your action camera be. And then if you never used the 360 feature, yeah, you know, at the time or whatever, it was still there. But why even make two cameras if you can make this look as good as your action camera? I mean, we don't know the specs, but I assume it's going to have to be at least 8K, right? Everybody's 8K. It's got to be 8K, because why a 360 camera has to be 8K is when you reframe it, if it's only 4K or 5K, it's going to look like a 1080p video or 2.7K. So to make it look like it's 4K, that's why you need the 8K, resolution, and of course, DJI's technology is a little bit different than what Insta360 was doing. I have no idea what GoPro's is. But the good thing about GoPro, since they're an American company, this thing should be available in the U.S. and should not even have a tariff on it, right?
Yeah, you can probably find it in Best Buy on release date. GoPro has always been known for that.
Yeah. I know, Eddie, you used to be a big GoPro guy, and you kind of made the switch a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, you were doing your FPV videos where you were mounting GoPros on the front of your whatever call it, your build drones, and you used to have it on the big DJI camera, the
FPV drone.
The potato. So, but tell us about your kind of experience with GoPro.
Well, I always appreciated the color science of GoPro. I still think the color science on GoPro, it looks fantastic. However, where GoPro messed up was when they transitioned out of the Hero 8s and transitioned into the 9s. They changed their battery design, and I don't know what they did to those batteries, but those batteries suck. Whether it's Enduro or whether it was the regular one, I always had power issues where I couldn't use my GoPro because the battery was at 100%, and literally 5 minutes or 3 minutes after pressing record, it says battery depleted and it shut off. So many times when I was flying my FPV drone, I'll come back and I don't have any video because the GoPro turned off mid-flight. And that's what made me kind of jump ship, is just the whole battery issue.
I'll second that. Eddie, I lost more work with GoPro with, like you said, started with the 9, but it got really bad with the 10. That it was not even worth having the camera anymore because it just didn't work. You couldn't depend on it.
Mm-hmm. And then the ecosystem of DJI, right? Once you're in that, you got the mics, the innovation, the 3 battery charger on the Action 5 is fantastic. Even though you probably don't even need more than 1 battery, but just knowing that you have that, the front screen where you can swipe, I think these are all things that GoPro missed. GoPro still has that huge bezel in the back, right? Where it's not taking advantage of the whole screen. And, it lags when you go through the menu. Like, all those little things just made me make the switch.
They add up.
Yeah, I still think GoPro video quality, just to contrast the overall looks better than DJI. But what good is it if you can't use it?
Can't use it.
I totally agree with you. They have a slight edge with video quality.
Yeah.
DeMarco, have you had any experience with GoPro products?
The last GoPro that I bought was the Session.
Okay, that's a lot of people's favorite GoPro.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were that old.
No, you know what? No, I used it more than I did my cheap Amazon one. So it's great. I use it though, but I don't use it like you guys use it either. I use it for the kids riding the bike and a baseball game really quick, short videos.
You want eye-opening? Go back to some of your early action camera footage before we had really good image stabilization.
Oh, yeah.
You can't watch it. You just can't watch it. Yeah.
So on that note, we don't know a whole lot of specs or whatever, and this and Eddie pointed out a lot of the cons, and to right now they still don't have a wireless mic. DJI has a wireless mic. Insta360 got a wireless mic this year, so they still have no wireless mic. But what do you think the possibilities of the Max 2 kind of saving GoPro and getting them back into good gracious with customers again if they knock out of the park with this 360 camera? Maybe it's better than the competition. Maybe it's cheaper than the competition. I don't know. Do you have hope that this is the product that brings them back to their old stature?
I mean, I hope they just don't replicate. They need to come up with something innovative. If they just replicate what Insta360 has already done, then why buy the GoPro, right? So I think the competitive edge might be the price point. Maybe they figured out a way to make this, I don't know, 40% cheaper, even 50% cheaper, because they do have some incredible promotional deals at times on their action cameras. But they would need to be different. They would need to stand out somehow, and not just a removable lens. There needs to be something truly innovative, and then they have to continue on that path forward, right? Like, what's next? It just can't be this. This is not going to save them. It just can't be a 360 camera.
And a couple people, on Twitter pointed out they never show the screen on this thing. They only show it from every angle but the screens, and we don't know what kind of screen, or even if it has a screen. And here's a teardown of it already. Let me see if I can get you go through.
I'm guessing it doesn't have a screen. I'm betting it does not.
So that means you have to use your phone as your kind of monitor for everything. Yeah.
I think both front and back, those things, those are heat sinks to prevent it from overheating. And that, did you notice they released a new 4K action camera? They're calling it the 4K. I don't know if it's just 4K, but it's like a 199 camera. It has no screen on it.
Right. I've seen that. Yeah. So, okay. So that would be kind of, I know they would take a lot of heat on YouTube in the reviews if they did not have a screen on it, which maybe won't be a big deal for hardcore action guys, because you're mounting it on a drone. Obviously, you're not looking at the screen anyways. But for people that vlog, I'm going to say that the problem with GoPro is, and I don't know if this is really GoPro's fault, but GoPro intended to make an action camera for people mounting it to FPV drones, handlebars of motorcycles, bicycles, whatever other type of vehicle, whatever, jet skis. And they found that maybe half the people bought it weren't doing that. They were vlogging with it. So they wanted to have all these vlogging features, which that wasn't the engineer's intention when they were making it, so, but I think GoPro's fault is they didn't seize this opportunity. Well, wait a minute. If people are buying our product as a vlogging thing, maybe we should engineer it more of as a vlogging tool.
Yeah, that's true. But without a screen, it may make the camera much cheaper. I think that might be their competitive edge.
There you go. Yeah, and of course, I guess it would make it more durable. But I mean, if you're going to drop and break if you're breaking the screen, you're probably going to break the lenses too. So I don't know how much that helps as far as durability.
Lens is swappable. Just swap out the lens.
Yeah. But still, you don't want to be swap out the lens every time you use it.
Yeah.
So anyhow, it's it's what we say this about other things. It's what we always wanted in drones. Okay, so we got GoPro coming out with the 360. We got DJI's is out, X5 is out. So in the 360 field, there is plenty of competition. I mean, good competition. There's people vying to make the best product, and it gives users choices. Along price lines, the feature lines, whatever. What we always want to see in drones, right, Marcus?
Absolutely, and to your point, I really wish GoPro would have stayed in the drone business. They get a lot of crap for that GoPro Karma, and really the biggest problem with it was that the battery fell out. Man, I wish they'd have stuck with. Well, and then they fixed that, right? They did fix that. I wish they would think about that. It's been quite a while ago. They'd have stuck with it. Just think what they would be offering now, and we would have some competition. It would
be an American drone too. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, we covered this last week, so I'm going to ask Eddie briefly here. What did you think of the rumors of the Insta360 partner with a company called Anti-Gravity to make a 360 drone? Is that something that's interested you?
Nah, not really. I think it's another niche product. Yeah, it didn't interest me. I think it's cool, right? And there's something else that's available in the market. I think you could probably get some really cool perspectives as well. But it's not like it's not something that I'm interested in personally.
Unless maybe you see more of it or whatever, huh?
I think it's cool that you can just reframe. Like I've always said, it would be really cool if DJI figured out a way to use the sensor cameras as the ability to also like switch to those cameras while you're flying, right? Like, to have better like quality on there. But you know, I guess this company is essentially doing that, but with just one camera, right? It's essentially a 360 camera on a drone. Is what they're doing.
Yeah. Maybe X5 with a drone.
Yeah.
So, also one last 360 note. 360 Boomers. That's VROOMERS. I have the link in the chat. He's a big YouTube 360 channel. His name's Mick or whatever. He was doing the Osmo. Yeah, the Osmo 360 in 8K 50 frames per second. And it wasn't him. He found somebody else's video where they kind of zoomed in on it, and they saw like on telephone lines, they saw jagged edges on these power lines, like they were doing some kind of like what do you call it? Like, it was digital. It was digitally creating this 8K 50. Yeah, like even more than that. Like they were kind of faking the 8K 50 frames per second by line skipping or whatever. And I have a link here if you want to go in. It's about a 5-minute video. You got to go about the last minute or so to see the video of this line skipping he's talking about. So I don't know if maybe it's just a bug or a glitch or whatever, but something to keep in mind. Marcus has a little something he wants to present here. I'm going to pop it up on the big screen here.
This is an Eddie tribute. So Eddie, this is brand new.
Oh wow, that looks awesome.
Yeah, they just built it.
Look at all those Cybertrucks.
Look, that's why I did that top-down shot so we could see all those Cybertrucks all in a row. This is the first time I've seen this video too, so I don't know exactly what, but I did do a little orbit around the Tesla dealer. So where they were previously, they were downtown, or not downtown, they were closer to Boise, but they were in a very industrial part of town, and you didn't even know that it was there. It was just and of course, there's the Amazon. There's probably 10 freaking Amazon warehouses in this city. But let me back up here because I wanted to give you another look at the Tesla dealer. They really, this is a beautiful facility. This looks really good. They'll do some business, I suspect.
Yeah. How far is that from your house, Marcus?
Oh, 3 miles.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Is it fully opened already? Like, is it open for
business?
Oh,
yeah. Well, it appeared to be. Yeah, it appeared to be. Anyway, that's all I got, Ron. I won't bore you any more than that. But
thank you. Thank you, Mark. That segues into the next story. Eddie, of course, has purchased a Cybertruck in the spring. You've been riding it for a couple months now. You have a series of videos on your channel about it. I watched a recent one where you were talking about you don't charge it at home. You charge it at the Tesla, supercharger stations or whatever. I found that video interesting, and it made sense to me after you explained it. But you got a lot of pushback in the comments on that that issue. Whatever.
I got destroyed. I think I have 140 dislikes to 23 likes.
Well, I'm one of the 23.
I purposely did that. Listen, that video is very unique to New York City, I would say, because I was looking at, I've charged cars here before because I had the Jeeps, right? The Jeep Rubicon and the Grand Cherokee. They were hybrid, so I will plug in at night. But I noticed my electric bill doubled, sometimes tripled. And when I started to dig deeper, it's just the price that we pay for kilowatt for the actual electricity, and then our delivery charge to our supply, which is Con Edison. I am paying 38 cents a kilowatt here in New York for electricity. My supercharger, if I go before 12 noon, is 22 cents
Okay.
And a supercharger will charge the car up in 30 minutes, whereas the wall charger, level 2 charger, my Cybertruck with 8 hours won't top off. It would need like a day and a half in a sense. So that was the perspective and angle that I was coming with in terms of that video. That's not the same across all the country, right? And pricing is going to vary. The cost of electricity is going to vary depending on where you live. An alternative that I have as a New York City resident is signing up for something called time of use plan, which is like after, off peak hours, it's like only 2 or 3 cents a kilowatt, right? Off peak. The con is though that they triple the rate during peak hours. So if I'm home on a summer day during the day and I turn on my AC, it's not going to cost me 3 times. But at night, I benefit from that very cheap plan. So I think that I'm going to give that a try. You're locked in for a year when you do that, but that's where I'm headed. I'm probably going to give them a call and switch over to that plan and see which one is better. Try it out for you. Yeah.
So after a couple months of ownership, give us, your impressions or review of after a couple months of ownership, because you already had another Tesla in the family,
yeah, right? I bought my son AJ a Model Y for his graduation gift on his way to college. The Cybertruck has been by far the best car that I've ever owned in terms of just the experience, steer by wire, the overall Tesla technology. The speed of that car is incredible, and I like that it's unique. It's different, right? It's not something that's normal per se. There's I get tons of compliments, but I also get a lot of hates. A lot of hate. Today I got cursed out 3 different times on our way to a Costco and Trader Joe's. I got called every name in the book. This guy lowered his window and make sure to call me an a-hole just because I'm driving that car. So that's the con of it. Yesterday I went to Domino Park in Williamsburg in Brooklyn, across from New York City, the Manhattan. So you get the nice skyline. And when I came back to my car, someone spit at the window.
Oh,
that's unfortunate, right? That's I guess the consequence of owning a car that's such an attention grabber, and everything that's happening in that political climate. But the way I see it is, look, to me, it's just a car. It's a materialistic object. I like it. I don't care what association it has to who. I bought it because I like it, and I actually got to demo one. So all those videos you've been seeing was not my Cybertruck. Tesla let me. We have an affiliation through work with Tesla. We have a corporate relationship. Tesla gave me a Cybertruck for a month to have at home to just give it a try.
Oh wow!
A whole full month. And then when I gave that car back and I got back in my Jeep, I was like, I wanted to.
I can't do this.
It felt foreign to me. Really driving the Jeep felt foreign to me. Just the overall handling on that Cybertruck is incredible.
And I know not everybody sees them, but Margate's a real small town. There's a ton of Teslas in Margate, and there's a bunch of Cybertrucks too. Whatever. Margate in the summertime, it's like half the cars in Margate are Teslas.
Well, there's Cybertrucks everywhere. I see them in fact, when I was out, of course I was by the Tesla dealer, so that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I saw a bunch of them there, but they literally are. You see them. It used to be an unusual thing, right?
Yeah,
to see a Cybertruck running around, but it seems like
they're becoming more and more popular because obviously they didn't sell as anticipated, and that's what made me pull the trigger. There's some incredible deals to be had on them. I mean, free supercharging, free upgrades.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the video, Eddie, that you got. How long is that free supercharging?
Well, depending on when you bought it, you can get unlimited supercharging, or right now, if you were to buy one now, they have a 1-year supercharging. Billy has unlimited. See, Billy, a person like Billy, unlimited supercharging is an incredible deal.
It's huge. Yeah.
Right. He's driving. I think he has 30,000 miles on his Cybertruck already. Right. He's driving everywhere. The Model Y that my son has it's gonna be a 1-year anniversary. I just checked the mileage today. He's gonna have 2,300 miles. And it's been a year.
Okay.
Yeah, my Cybertruck right now, I think it's about 2 months of ownership. My actual Cybertruck, right now, I'm sitting at 1,100 miles. I mean, in New York City, you're traveling maybe 8-10 miles
Right.
Those 8-10 miles, it's an hour and a half, but you're not going far.
Yeah.
So Eddie, give us the lowdown on FSD. Is it all that? Do you think let me rephrase that. Do you think that we are even close to being able to use that as a cyber cab?
Well, it's essentially happening with the robo taxis, right? I mean,
I know, but the robo taxi, but they're doing some different stuff with it. So
yeah.
that's not a one-on-one comparison.
So no. To be honest, and for city driving, like FSD struggles in New York City in city driving. If I'm on the highway, absolutely, I turn on FSD. It's a champ, but it is just too much. It's too conservative for all the right reasons. There's too much hesitation. So in New York City, I'm really getting like the guy behind me pissed off because I'm doing the double stops at a stop sign way before rolling up, stopping again. God forbid there's another car or human. It's gonna assess like, are they gonna move first? Am I gonna go first? You can't do that in a city like New York. Like it's just it has to be more aggressive. So I think that's where it's not 100% ready yet.
Yeah,
and New York are probably might be the most challenging driving situation in the U.S.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't have FSD in my pickup, but I've got I bought a new Ram 1500, and it's got the hands-free driving feature, and it only works on certain roads. But when the dash lights up and says you can do it, you need to understand how much more relaxing that makes a trip. It is huge.
Yeah.
You still have to pay attention, but you want to change lanes. You don't even touch the wheel; just hit your signal, and boom, it's going to change lanes for you. It makes it so much more relaxing.
It is. For long trips, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. No, I was just sitting there thinking. This past week, I went to Chicago. My wife has a 24 Grand Highlander with a system like that, and no, you're right. I was so much better drive. I didn't have to hold the wheel like this and struggle with it. A finger on the wheel.
You don't even need a finger on the wheel with my Ram.
Here you do you gotta touch the wheel. So
does yours, Marcus, alert you? Like when you pick up your phone, like does it warn you and stuff like that?
If you look over here for just a second, it's telling you now look forward.
Yeah, that's the same thing with FSD. But FSD, they have this 3 strike and you're out rule where it times you out. You can only make 3 mistakes, and then they yank FSD away from you for a period of time. It could be you get penalized.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You get penalized.
Shoot.
Look at Josh's comment. Meanwhile, I didn't even use cruise control on my 1,100-mile trek to the South Florida drove me though.
Wow.
I just couldn't go back to those days. I couldn't do it. And of course, even just adaptive cruise in traffic, my God, it just makes it so much easier. Just so much easier.
I would say the other thing is you got to learn how to trust it. So the Cybertruck is a heavy vehicle. When you have to come to an immediate stop, you need the space. Like it just doesn't stop immediately like a sedan, right? Like a regular vehicle. Right. FSD likes to slow, like the cars in front of me, all braking, all red lights, and FSD is just hauling down. And I'm like, are you not going to slow down? Sometimes I brake for it. But then the times that I take the risk, I'm like, let me just see what it's going to do. It does slow down, but it like slows down like on top of the car. And to me, I'm paranoid about that. Like I'm just not used to it. On the other hand, Billy just FSD all day and all through the city of Philly. Like he's just on that all the time. He learned to trust the system. Wow. I haven't gotten there yet.
Eddie, what does your wife and your kids, what's everybody else think of the Cybertruck in your family?
Oh, they all love it. They love it. We can mount now. We can take our e-bikes in the back in the bed, right? And we can go to a destination now that's different. We're not starting from our home. The baby loves it because it has YouTube in the back, so he's watching like Miss Rachel and all the other stuff in Elmo. So when he's in the car, like we're all listening to Elmo. but everyone loves it. They love it's comfortable. The teenagers love it because of the attention that they get in that car, and they just think it's a cool car. Everyone thinks it's a cool car overall.
And it's very comfortable for even backseat passengers and everything.
Yeah, spacious. You have the whole bed in the back as well. You got the front in the front, and the technology. Just the technology is like, it's best in class, I would say.
So plenty of storage then for
traveling. Yeah, storage everywhere. Yeah. Now I can even go to my drone adventures and just plug into the car directly. Right, I don't need a DJI 1000.
Oh wow. Yeah, you have your own golden 1000. Yeah.
Hey, so Eddie, also your tailgate or your bed cover, is it waterproof?
They say it's water resistant, but we've gotten some really heavy downpours, and when I go wash it, they power wash it, and it's dry. Not a
really?
That's water. Good. Yeah, no water.
And it's also 100% secure, though, right? Nobody can get into it.
They call it the vault. The vault is what Tesla calls it. No one can get into it.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Let's see. Johnny has a comment.
Look at Johnny's comment.
Oh, Johnny says the Cybertruck is almost as cool as the V-Copter.
Almost.
The original V-Copter, Johnny, or the V-Copter Mini?
Well, I got an update on the V-Copter Mini. I was supposed to get mine today, but it got delayed. Now it's supposed to come on Wednesday.
Has Johnny made videos about the Mini yet? I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, he's got a whole bunch of them.
Now that we're talking about V-Copter, did you guys see the leak about the new Hover Air? Is that on your agenda or no?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Eddie. I'm going to bring it right up now. Here, let me get the.
There you go. I didn't get to see your list.
I haven't heard from him. Have you heard from him, Eddie?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Let's see here we go.
You should email them. Just email them. There's an event coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. And also, what you're going to like, Marcus, is it supposedly has a beacon. Let me go back and change the page here.
Well, the last one had a beacon too, for all the good it did.
Oh, okay, there it is in the water. So we don't know a whole lot of details when it's coming or whatever, but
I could have used that when I was in Antigua, and I thought I lost mine in the water.
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a lot of use for a water drone, I don't think, but Ron, you
live at the shore.
Yeah, but I try to avoid the drones in the water.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. But did you see that the beacon looks very close to that DJI prototype?
Yeah, I had that thing, but I don't have it posted when they showed the thing. But Eddie's right; it looks like the DJI beacon. So this would be the ultimate kind of follow me drone with that beacon, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is for extreme adventures because I'm trying to go to their Facebook group. They've been putting sort of like, I would say, leaks. Okay. And they let me see if I can find it. They gave examples of what type of sports you would want to use this for, like what type of adventure shots you would want to use this for. And it was like some crazy stuff, like I don't want to say skydiving, but something like that, like parasailing or skydiving.
Well, I was saying, I can see at the shore. I can see a surfer use that because they may not want a non-waterproof drone and follow them on the surfboard in case it has to land. But this would be okay if it would follow them and lose them and land in the water. They would just go scoop it up.
Okay, here's the problem with the previous version, the Hover Air Pro Max X100, whatever it was. It tracked you very well without the beacon from behind. Now, what my hope was with the beacon, you would be able to do like you did with the Skydio, put it to the side of you, put it in front of you, and you could kind of do that, but it would never stay there. It would always end up behind you at some point. And so then what was the point of that beacon? It was a useless appendage that.
Marcus, is that because the drone couldn't fly fast enough to keep up with
it? It was a pretty quick little drone. I just don't think that, well, I don't know. I'm not an engineer, but I know that nobody, Skydio is the only company that's been able to do that I've seen so far.
I don't think the beacon was as integrated as we thought it would be.
We hoped it would be. I agree.
I don't think the beacon is acting like a beacon. The beacon is just acting as an extension to the screen. It's like
it's a remote control. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe this time it'll be a true beacon.
Let's see.
I'm gonna watch Eddie's channel and find out.
Eddie, any guesses on when this new hover will be available this fall?
It would probably be like a Kickstarter this fall, but I think there'll be some time. There'll be a waiting period, like all their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is something I think I need, but I'll reserve the final decision. And of course, we have no idea of a price point on this.
So, Ron, I want to expand on it a little bit more. The Hover Air Pro X1 Double Knot Spy, whatever it is called. I never can remember the name because there's so many parts to it. However, it does a really, really excellent job of tracking from behind, and it follows your path. Like, you can be on an e-bike and you can go right by a tree and it's going to go right by the tree. It's not going to cut the corner. It's going to hit that perfectly. Plus, the camera on it is really, really good. It takes excellent, well, up to 8K, but the 4K looked really good on it. Now, that's awesome, and that's all a wonderful thing. However, then DJI came out with the Flip, which does the same thing just as well as this one does in 4K. It doesn't have 8K capability, but it does it in 4K. So to me, it kind of took the shine off of the Hover product when the Flip came out. Anyway, my 2 bits for what it's worth.
Yeah. The Hover did have some issues. Like, I found, like, when I record in 8K, I don't know, Marcus, if you had the same experience, but when the video started a bit, like when you go play it back, I thought it was my computer, but it wasn't. It's just that I don't know, it didn't capture those frames.
It doesn't have a powerful enough processor to do it. It's got the sensor, it's got that, it doesn't have the processing power to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ross, that's Oz Panoramas, whatever, from down under. He's asking Marcus and Eddie. He's asking, was the 8K footage good on the Hover?
Well, that's what we were just talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks good. Yeah.
Thank you. So, okay, well, I got one quick story. I kind of got it out of order here, but I want Eddie to give an update on his experience with the Insta360 X5. He's had it since the spring. Now it's summer. Have you had a chance to pretty much put it through his paces, and what are your impressions of it?
I take my X5, and every time I go out to shoot a video, it's a B cam for me. It's either capturing B-roll, or it's getting me those shots on my bike, or like riding in the car. It's literally a B cam. Stevie Bronx does a really good job, which is Capture Life. He does some really good edits, but he uses it. I took a page from his book. He uses it as a behind the scene cam, right? Like BTS cam. So as he's flying his drone or he's doing something, it's another B camera for him. So I use it every single time I go out. They continue to improve it, right? They keep adding new features on it, which is fantastic through firmware updates. And they just released now native ND filters, which I think it's great, right? Because that that motion ND that you can do through the software, I don't really like it because you can see the masking that it does around you. Right, you see it in the edges. Like, it looks
just like Apple when they try and add bokeh to your iPhone videos.
It looks fake. So I want to get the NDs. I think the NDs are very overpriced. They're $60. I mean, you're getting 2 because you need 2, but they're $60 per. So if you need an ND60, an ND64, 60, ND32, 60, etc. And remember what it is essentially. Then it's a lens guard. So when you scratch it, now you got to go get another one. So I've been but I think I want to get it. So like, you know, when I'm on the boosted board or on the one wheel or even the e-bike, you get that motion blur, because motion blur makes a heck of a difference in your videos.
Which, of course, is something you'll only be able to use in good light, because
Right.
those cameras need the high shutters when they're trying to deal with low light, but not necessarily with good daylight. And that's something the DJI product doesn't offer. They don't have ND filters yet for
Not
their.
yet, but I think iPhone though made it a point that it had like a notch. It had it looks there's a way to apply, so I'm sure they'll come out with one.
Good. Hey, you got Eddie, you got a comment from Ray Kelly, who just got back from Florida. He says, Eddie, you need to drive that Cybertruck down to Port Jefferson on Saturday morning, but we'll fly, Eddie.
Port Jefferson is far out there. I responded to him in the chat. I said, "Will I have enough range to get there?"
Yeah, they don't call Long Island for nothing, right?
Yeah, Port Jeff is probably hour and a half, 2 hours for me. For sure. Yeah. And then coming back with that traffic, especially on the weekend, it's maybe like 3 hours.
You better wait until the off season, when the summer season's over. Yeah, and do that. Yeah. So, you know, we're in kind of short in time here, but we'll try to get in here. Eddie, you know, we know you had the Potensic Atom too, kind of way back early in the spring or whatever. But Marcus and I both had a chance to fly the drone, you know, over the last couple weeks, months, or whatever, and maybe just have a little round table. What you know, I know you had it first, so, and you had some time to think about it. What were your impressions of the Potensic Atom drone? Now we know it's a budget price drone. It's not made to compete with the more expensive DJI drones, but as a beginner or budget drone, what's your thoughts on it?
I think it's a good option to have, especially now with what's happening in the United States, where I think you can still get them here. I still think if you can get your hands on a DJI 4K, a DJI is going to win hands down. But the Potensic is not a bad option. I think the video quality was impressive. I really loved the remote, and I think the remote was a direct copy of another remote. I think Femi or something like that. That remote was made by somebody else previously, but I really like. I really like the design, the gimbals. You know, it has smart features. They all didn't work well enough for me though. Like it did lose me on tracking. The dolly zoom was a little bit off on it, but what matters is the video quality, photo, the signal penetration, and the battery. And you can charge 3 batteries at the same time, all in that little hub. And for the price point, I think it's a fantastic deal for those that can't get their hands on like, for example, a Mini 4K or a promo deal on a Mini 3 or Mini 3 Pro.
Let me kind of reframe that, Eddie. So for somebody that is not like the 3 or the 4 of us, maybe like the 3 of us, and DeMarco might fit in other category that I'm talking about here. There are a lot of people that they don't necessarily need the very best quality of video, but they're just trying to capture a family event or their trip someplace or their kid's football game or something like that. It's good enough.
Yes. And
those features, now you mentioned the tracking. I thought the tracking was awesome on it. I thought it did quite well. Where it fell down for me, and I know Ron, because I've watched Ron's videos too, was I had some connection issues from time to time. Not nearly as bad as the older versions of the Atom. I have all those older versions, and they didn't send me the Atom 2 for a reason, I think. They didn't like my previous reviews. But anyway, you would lose signal. Now, I never lost signal bad enough that it put the drone into return to home, or I absolutely couldn't see the FPV screen for a long period of time or something. But it was there, and I saw it. The other thing I saw was an occasional, just a little bit of a tilted horizon. Not bad, but it was there occasionally. Yeah. But the features wise, I mean, they did a fantastic job with all the features they packed into that drone, especially when you talk about the price, right? Price wise, it's very competitive. Yeah.
Yep. And they had a recent update. They had a recent update where it made it a lot better.
The one that cracked me up. So Eddie, I got to try this. That does the whole rotation thing like the Mavic 4.
Yeah,
and it's perfect.
Wow.
It looks really good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much is it, Marcus? How much is it?
It's $349 for a base package.
Yeah, and the Flymore is under $500. I mean, it's pretty reasonable.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
Ron, you gotta give us your 2 bits.
Yeah, well, it went up to when I first got it. I went to look up on Amazon. It was $329, so it jumped up $20 since I first got it. So as far as the price,
but Ron, tell us about your experience with it.
Yeah, the tracking. Well, first of all, I obviously was on later updates than Eddie was, so the tracking was okay to me. But I only track myself walking, so I make it easy. It doesn't have to track me anything moving fast. And basically, all these drones that use optical tracking, they're basically made to follow people walking and not on fast moving 2-wheel vehicles. So almost all drones at some point fail when they're tracking people in fast moving vehicles. It never lost me on the beach. Marcus said it kind of has most of the quick shots that DJI has, and they all work well. They were simple to implement. Like the Phoebe ones, they have them, but they were harder to get going. Where these, you could just look at them one time and figure out how to run all the quick shots. Now,
and the AI was smart enough on it that it kept you in center of frame too, which a lot of drones fall down on.
Yeah. And one con for a lot of people was they promised waypoints, and I think it may even say it on the box. And as of right now, the waypoints aren't there. If you contact them, they're silent or whatever. They're not telling you it's coming soon or anything. The waypoints may never come. But it does have tracking, and the video quality is good in good lighting. But I noticed that it doesn't have much dynamic range.
That's what I noticed too. The dynamic range. I flew that drone and the Sky Rover X1 back to back out at the Snake River Canyon and also on the Boise River, and that's where, when you look at them side by side, that's where the Atom 2 really fell down. Dynamic range just was not there.
And I went on an early morning flight, my last flight, and the dynamic range was poor. Whether I was with the camera is facing the sun or facing away, even facing away did not help improve the dynamic range. But I will say that it's better in photos. I took some photos that morning. I took some of the 8K photos, and the photos look much better than the video did, even dynamic range wise. So if you're primarily interested in photos, and Marcus's signal issues, I had them kind of on every flight except the last flight. I made sure that I did not use my wireless DJI mic, or even have it. I made sure I didn't have anything that was kind of broadcasting any signal anywhere near me when I was flying, except the phone, of course, because you have to fly with the phone. But I think I even maybe I even put the phone in airplane mode. So in that last flight, I didn't see as much. Well, I didn't see any real breakup on the screen. I mean, the signal would go up, down a few times, but the only time I didn't see a lot of when the screen slows down on you and you're kind of hiccuping. Or
so I took just the opposite stance that Ron did. I wore my DJI mic. I thought, you know what? Even when I review some of these cheaper drones, I'll say, I always wear my DJI mic, and it doesn't seem to bother them. So if it bothers the Atom 2, it's not a mic problem, it's a drone problem. And I want to show that in the video.
Yeah, I mean, they know it's an issue. They need to shield that better from electronic signals. I mean, I don't have any.
Well, what DJI does is frequency hopping so that it moves to a different.
Moves away from that interference.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't have any signal issues with mine. In fact, that was one of the things that I was impressed about. Was the signal penetration.
So Ron and I had the same drone. It was a friend of ours that loaned it to us, and Ron had it first, and then he sent it to me. And in fact, today I just put it in the mail back to that individual. So we had exactly the same drone. Okay.
Yeah. And lots of times when these, I'm going to use Marcus's verbiage here, these second tier drones, sometimes these drones aren't consistent from unit to unit. Like Femis and Taurus, somebody can get a Fimi that works really good, and the next guy can get one like the next week, and his has all sorts of issues. So maybe maybe you had one that had a little bit better shielding or whatever, that prevented some of that interference we got from our other electronic devices. So, but overall, I give it a buy. It's
that's how I felt too. Yeah,
it's maybe a little on the pricey end of the budget drones, but it does offer a lot. But our market size baseline has long been the Mini 4K. You could, I think, just sometime last week it was $249 again. Just on pure video quality alone, the video quality that you see on your memory card and your computer, is the Mini 4K video more pleasing to your eyes than the Atom 2?
And let's elaborate. The Mini 4K is essentially a Mini 2, and it's got that same technology in it. So we're going back several years in technology, but it's still better than a lot of these current second-tier drones that are coming out.
It just doesn't have the features these second-tier drones like that.
They don't have all the features. That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But I knew for some that you may agree with me in this. The most important feature is the video quality.
Yeah, video and photo, that's the main point.
Yeah,
where I'm at.
I could do a manual drone if I have to, right?
I think what these second-tier drone manufacturers should try to do and keep the price fair is get a remote with a screen where you don't have to use your mobile device.
But none of them have. That's right. I guess because you can't make a $350 drone.
Fimi, I got to correct you. One of them does. Fimi, remember they got that TX10, but I've never had one, the TX10 controller. But I've also heard a lot of people having a lot of problems with them too. So I don't. Right.
But I
don't have any experience with it, so I can't really say for sure.
But of course, the TX doesn't work with their mini drones. It only works with their more expensive drone.
I did not.
It's never worked with any of the minis. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's not meant for their budget line of drones. More of their what's the pro level line of Fimi? The bigger one.
XSSE. Yeah.
Yeah, the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got one downstairs, Ron, if you want to try it out. I haven't flown. Well, my Fimi Mini 3 was the best Fimi I ever owned. I've got one sitting right back here. Well, so I'll tell you what put me off of the Fimi Mini 3 is I was flying at one time, lost connection with the drone. And you guys know all the tricks to get your connection back. You can reboot the controller. There's a ton of different things that you can do to get your connection back. So often you can just pull the OTG cable out, plug it back in. We all know those tricks. However, none of those tricks worked with that Fimi drone. It was just on its own. It was up there. I had no way of controlling it in any way. So then you lose confidence in the product, right? You fly it the next time and it might be okay, but then you always in the back of your mind, you're wondering, okay, I have that out over the Snake River Canyon or Lucky Peak Reservoir or the Boise River or something, and that happens. SOL. It's it's done. So if you can't have confidence in the product, well, there's no point.
Yeah, and there's risk, right? There's risk.
And there's risk as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to wrap up here. And I'll go around a panel on this. I'll go with Eddie first. With the DJI products, not being available in the U.S., mostly because of the Uyghur situation, they cannot get through customs now. They haven't been banned yet. That test hasn't, that test that has to be done by the 23rd, that really has affected. But the customs guys are stopping these drones at the customs office because of the Uyghur thing. So they're not even trying to get them in because they're being held up now. But Eddie, would you consider kind of going, what do you call it, off book here and ordering a DJI product from an eBay seller such as South Korea?
With the success that many have had, I would say if I really want the item, I would. I would go ahead and do it because there hasn't been a negative story besides the ability besides the the ability not to get it serviced,
The
right?
service aspects, right?
Yeah, that's the only like issue out there. But you know, I would do it if I really want the product. I would absolutely do it.
And hey, we Marcus and I have we said that for a long time, but we've kind of taken that away now because with the the inability to DJI to get drones in the U.S. right now. I have an Air 3S with care refresh, but if I crash that drone, they cannot get a replacement unit.
You're still out of luck.
I essentially no longer have any support from DJI on that drone. Maybe I have support from if I just need a help on the phone or whatever, but they are no longer able to send me replacement drones or even if I had to send my drone back for repair, I could send it back, but I most likely would not get it back. So I essentially have no support on any drone anymore. So, that's the situation we're in now.
This is the period of time when we need more of the local drone repair people. There was many of them on the YouTube space, if you remember. There was QC guy, Accelerated Heights in Florida. We had a local guy here in New York named Twan. He would fix all our drones when we used to crash and we didn't refresh. Twan, I don't know when he fell off the map, but we need local guys again that can fix these drones.
I agree.
And those local guys have to be able to get the parts somehow. Is another problem there. But DeMarco, would you consider ordering a drone from one of these eBay, these Korean? Tom Dowling was here last week, Eddie, and he told us if you order from South Korea or Japan, there's no tariffs coming in those drones. That's how you can get them to you for the price you're paying on eBay. Those two countries don't have the tariffs, and that could change at any minute. Like that could change tomorrow, next week, or whatever.
If you bring that drone into the U.S., you owe tariff. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. But DeMarco, would you consider ordering like a Mini 5 or something from
No.
eBay?
The only way that I would consider it if I did not have a drone. So if I lost my other Mavic 3 and Mavic 3 Mini Pro, maybe then though, but like now, no, not a chance. Not a chance. I'll wait. I'm patient.
Patient man.
I'll wait 5 years.
Patience is a virtue.
Yes.
You wait for the American drones.
Yeah. Well, like you were saying though, like I don't want to get it though, spend all this money to get it, and then run into a tree or whatever, and then I'm out.
On another hand, and DeMarco just made me think about something. On the other hand, what prevents me from going out there and getting it is like you almost feel like you have an illegal item in your possession. Yeah. Like that stigma of I can't, like the anxiety, I can't have this, or this is not legal, or this is not like it's just.
Well, it is FCC approved, so in that sense, it's perfectly legal to fly it here. That tariff issue, though, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, Ron, here's where I struggle. Would I do that with an expensive product like the Mavic 4 Pro? Probably not. But if the Mini 5, it's a little bit lower price. I'm going to split hairs here. If I just absolutely can't get it any other way, I would consider that. I would consider it because I'd like to have one.
Interesting. Now, I mean, I go all the way back to my early days of drones when I was flying like toy drones, say 2015, 2016. Some drones I ordered from China that weren't sold anywhere in the U.S. under U.S. channels, whatever. So I've done it in the way back, when not that the drone was under any tariff or whatever, just because nobody chose to sell it in the U.S. or whatever. But
hey, I'm doing that right now. Banggood said they're going to send me a little JJRC drone.
There you go. Yeah,
it was. Who else was it? It was Banggood and.
The other one was even bigger back in the day.
Yeah, GearBest was one of them.
GearBest was back in the day. Yeah. But yeah, I'm torn like Marcus. I'm torn on whether I do this or not. On the con side, of course, we used to say about no support, but we don't have no support in anything anymore. But also, things could go wrong or whatever. But on the other flip side, if more and more tariffs and stuff come, what we consider expensive today could be a lot more expensive by the time the Mini 5 comes out and you can get it from Korea, man. It could, you could have to pay 100% more than you're paying for it now. Like say that drone, if it was out and you bought it today, it was $1,000. It may be $2,000 in a month or two.
Let me take you a step further. If in fact that ban does take place, in other words, nobody audits DJI, or they do the audit and they find out that there's security
whole
risk.
Bunch of bad stuff.
So then they'll go on that covered list, right? The FCC covered list. Then any new products will literally be illegal to use in the US because they won't be FCC approved. So even if you could get it from South Korea or whatever, you would be breaking the law to use that product in the United States. I, for one, am not going to do that. I would not take that step. So that kind of ends it. And so we're kind of in this position that with this Mini 5 and with the Mavic 4, for that reason, they may be the last of those kind of drones, those kind of
legal drones,
prosumer drones that we're even able to buy. So that's why it kind of squeezes me over to where, hey, I might order one from South Korea.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to wait for the American drones.
Yeah,
that GoPro's making.
Yeah, which we'll see in about 10 years. And Eddie, then I'll be 80 years old. Will I still be flying drones?
Yeah, you'll still have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, drones are a good hobby because it doesn't require any strength. Even if you age and you can't do as much, as long as you can like drive the car to some place, you can still fly the drone.
Hey, all kidding aside, I gave my 92-year-old neighbor a drone.
Yeah,
he flies the hell out of it. He flies the heck out of that drone. Yeah.
It's a good hobby.
In fact, it's a Potensic Atom. It's the Atom SE.
The old Atom.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that's going to end it with 10:36 here on the East Coast here, and Eddie's
Bill Grace. Hold it, Ron. Bill Grace says he flies. He's 95. So there you go.
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah. What are you doing? You're just a young pup, Marcus.
Yeah.
You got another 30 years.
What am I complaining about? Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Bill flies every day. Yeah. So, Eddie, any final thoughts or anything you wanted to mention before we get off the air here?
I'm interested on that hover air drone. Let's see what they come out. I think something new, innovative in the market space is going to create excitement again. A lot of cool things in the pipeline. Let's just see what we can get in our hands on it. And like the Fly for Fun show says, and Johnny, just fly what you got. Right? Just have fun and fly what you got.
Eddie, fly what you got, but be real careful of what you got because you can't get it repaired or replaced.
That's true.
And back to the hover, do you think they can get that out before the end of the year so it doesn't fall under some kind of a Chinese drone ban?
I think before the end of the year, for sure.
Yeah.
So listen, if we're talking about this potential covered list, that really only applies to DJI and Autel. The other brands, I don't think it applies to. That would come under if they pass the countering
CCP or
Communist China Drones Act or whatever it's called. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of assume that if the bill you referred to first, I don't know my numbers, the one where they have to down prop. If one of those bills pass, they're all going to pass. So but I don't know that. I'm just guessing that. I mean, it would be real weird if DJI and Autel couldn't sell drones, but yet all the cheap drones were all still you could get.
Potensic becomes the #1 brand in America.
Right. And or you go back to flying Phoebe, Marcus. You go back to flying unreliable Phoebe.
EXO, the #1 drone brand in America.
DeMarco, we get our Hudsons out of mothballs.
Mine's gone, Ron.
Get it back. Yeah. So, all right. Good night, guys. Have a great week. I'm expecting if my V-Copter Mini comes with it, it'll be my first drone of this year. The only drone that I've purchased all year, and I purchased it back in like around the beginning of April. We were at South Florida. but it'd be
I'm
my
going
only
with you,
drone.
Ron.
And I didn't have to smuggle it in from South Korea or anything either. You know, the customs guy doesn't stop hovering.
You haven't got it yet, Ron. So,
I talked to Mike Gray today briefly. He was expecting his to arrive today.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are coming. They're just, the thing is, here's the thing about drones. Drones can be real fast when they're flying in the air, but when drones are on a shipping truck, they're the slowest moving product there is.
Ron, I got the Sky Rover X1. It came from Malaysia in 4 days. Ordered it on a Monday, had it in my hand on Friday.
Well, you see, what happened is nobody knew the name Sky Rover. They didn't know it was a drone, so they didn't know to slow it down.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah. So, all right, folks. Thanks to everybody in the chat who joined us. And Eddie, Ray's putting a big meetup together. Stevie's going to be there. They're going to go to secret spots. So it's going to be a heck of a meetup on Saturday morning. So
I might have to charge up the car and make it down there.
Yeah, charge up. That
or just hit a supercharger on the way, right?
Yeah, or Stevie can just give me a boost from his Suburban.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. We work it out here. So, yeah. Good night, folks. We'll see you next week. We'll be back with who knows, maybe we'll have more new drones next week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.